Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome into Attacking Third. Guys, thanks for hanging with us on YouTube. We see you all in the chat. It's lit. If you're not there, jump on over to youtube.com/attacking third. Like this video, subscribe. There's a whole conversation happening. Darian, McCall, I'm Lisa. Shout out to Ryan Robinson. Happy birthday today. Guys, what's up? D, McCall, how's that hanging?
I love a good birthday. Shout out there. We were just saying what a beautiful day it is. So how lucky are you to be born on this day? Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations. Great day.
We've got a great show planned for you guys. Thanks for hanging with us. We know we're a little bit delayed, an hour later, but hey, it doesn't matter. We're still here for you, bringing you the best across the women's football landscape. So don't go anywhere because Attacking Third starts right now. Hey everyone, welcome into Attacking Third for a very special Thursday episode because NWSL Week 8 action is coming at us like a freight train, so we are previewing it. Plus, we're diving into some of the unsung heroes across the NWSL landscape, and we're putting money where our mouth is. We're talking A3 best bets this week. I can't do it alone. Alongside McCall Zerboni and Darian Jenkins, I'm Lisa Carlin. Guys, good morning. Good afternoon, actually. We're a little delayed, but it doesn't matter. We're happy to be here. Dee, how are you this morning?
Bon après-midi. Sorry, everybody. I am the reason we pushed it later. I was coming from the studio, so I'm so sorry we were going a little late. It's all due to me, but I'm so happy to be with you guys. I feel like I've been in a boys' room all week, plus Claudia at the studio, so it's really fun to be back with my girlies. McCall, how are you feeling?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to do these topics today. I'm excited about them. I love that we had to make a little adjustment, testing, our versatility here, but we still got to give it to the people. We love the people.
The people are here. If you didn't know, you can watch us live on youtube.com/attacking third. There's a whole chat. It's a community. It's actually very, very fun. We join the chat sometimes, lots of conversations. And of course, you can always listen to us as a podcast and you can watch us on the Golazo network. This weekend coming up is Mother's Day. So we are sending big love to all of our moms and also our A3 mama, Jess McDonald. She is expecting her third. She holds it down so well. But we also have some mom news coming into the women's soccer space because U.S. women's national team forward, a member of the Triple Espresso, Mallory Swanson, has announced that she and her husband, Dansby Swanson, are expecting their first child. This is why she hasn't reported yet, everyone. Send Swanson her best wishes, and she announces this just before Mother's Day. It is so poetic. And also, former U.S. star Christy Mewis and Australian star Sam Kerr have welcomed the birth of their first child, a little baby boy, Jagger Mewis Kerr. Congratulations.
You get a baby. You get a baby. You get a baby. Everybody's are we at the age where just like everybody's having children? Honestly, I'm here for it. I'm down to be the cool auntie. Let me deck you out in some Adidas, 3-stripe life. They've got some cute baby clothes. I love it, but congrats to everybody. This is a really special time.
Oh, I love seeing this because now women can. They have resources and protection and rights as mothers in this league and in this sport now. So now people have the choice to do it without being held behind. So it's so nice to see those rewards paying off.
It really is. It's so well said, McCall. And I mean, not just superstars like these people are having babies, but also a lot of players in the NWSL. Guys, give it like 15 years, 16, 18 years. All these babies are going to be playing soccer.
Yes.
From superstar families. It's going to be so good.
They're breeding NWSL players into the pipeline. Worth more NWSL players, please.
This is now the U.S. soccer pipeline.
Yeah.
Who needs NWSL academies? We have these.
No. Who needs academies? You just need good genes.
League 2, what?
Oh, so good. Well, congratulations to everyone and happy Mother's Day out there. Give your mom a hug. We're sending big love to all of our moms as well. Guys, let's dive into it. NWSL Week 7 action is upon us, so we're looking ahead to it. There are matches all across the weekend. It starts on Friday, 2 matches, 3 games on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. And as a reminder, Attacking Third is going to be live on Sunday immediately following the 8 p.m. Seattle Reign versus Houston Dash match. So you can watch that game on Golazo Network, and don't go anywhere because Attacking Third will be right there on Golazo Network immediately following that match to recap it. But let's talk about some of these games. The biggest one that is circled right now is Friday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time game between Angel City FC and the Utah Royals. So 8th place Angel City against 13th Utah. And Utah is coming off a 2-0 home loss to North Carolina Courage. They've been in a bit of a slump. Meanwhile, for Angel City, though, they're coming off a thrilling 4-3 win over Washington Spirit last week, in which rookie superstar Riley Tiernan secured her first professional brace, including the game winner. Darian, it has been all eyes on Riley Tiernan right now, but now when you think of Angel City against Utah, what are you looking at for Angel City to do to continue this momentum?
This is the opportunity where you can rack up even more goals. If you're Riley Tiernan, you're on a hot streak. She's playing bold. She's playing hungry. She's looking like she's enjoying every moment of being on the pitch, because this is a player where nothing was promised. This is the post-draft era. She had to come in as an invitee to preseason, earned a contract, and now she's putting away goal after goal. You look at Utah, if I'm in her position, or anybody on the attack for Angel City, this is the time to go at them. They have a lot of injuries. There's a lot of turnover between players. Still trying to figure out what this team really looks like. Still trying to figure out how they're going to score goals, how effective they can be. That's not just through an Ali Sentinor. So if you're Angel City, this is the time to strike hard and keep developing, especially in the attack. But I love it. I love it for Riley Tiernan. And I think it's going to be a really, really heavy-handed game towards Angel City.
Ooh, Angel City, I mean, this year for them has been go, transition, run like the wind, bullseye. It's actually very reminiscent of Kansas City in 2024. All gas, no breaks at times.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at Angel City in this season so far, they have scored in the opening 13 minutes in 5 of their last 6 games. So immediately they get off on a front foot and they score, but they also concede a lot. They do a really bad job of getting so expansive, stretching so much, and then it allows other teams to come in. I mean, you think about last week, Angel City against Washington, they went up 2-0 in the opening 22 minutes of that game, but then they allowed Washington back into it to score 2 more. Angel City went up again. Washington responded. The same thing happened with Orlando 2 weeks ago for Angel City. They went up in the opening 10 minutes. It was 2-0 by halftime for Angel City, but they allowed Orlando back into it. They haven't kept a single clean sheet this season. Now against Utah, a team that is struggling offensively, to me, it is their chance, Angel City's chance to lock it down defensively and try not to get so stretched and expansive.
Yeah, if you're the front line of Angel City right now, it is your time to eat this weekend. Just get it, put your plate together, gobble it all up. There is goals there for you to be had. Keep your momentum going. Like you said, Lisa, they're so route one. They just want to keep forward. So their best defense is offense. When they're putting pressure on the other team and they just can't get out, that's where they're going to win. So they just need to lock Utah in there, keep them on their back heels, and pummel goals in.
Lisa, what do you think with all of that, though? Sorry, before we drop to Utah, before we move over to Utah. Sorry,
you're not wrong.
Shout out to my home state. I'm sorry I said that. Sorry. What do you think the evolution of Angel City is? You know, we talked about them being super expansive. There's huge gaps. They're leaking goals. They'll outscore you. What's next defensively that they need?
They have to manage games, hands down, because the way that they score goals is getting expansive and being stretched and sending their front runners. And it works for them most of the time because they have the fastest back 4 defensive core in the league. So they can usually get back. But game management, when you're up 2 goals, don't expose yourself so much. Play a consistent 90 minutes, especially towards the end of games. I mean, for the game against Orlando 2 weeks ago, they allowed the Pride to score I think it was an own goal maybe, but it was in stoppage time. So it is like the final 20 minutes of a game where they either are racing to get another goal, which they did against Washington, or they're just fighting to stay alive. They have to manage that for longer. And I think that comes with experience. When you look at Angel City's roster, though, it is a lot of youth in there. It is a lot of youth. Even Alyssa Thompson, although she's a couple year pro, right? She's got a couple U.S. international caps. She's still really, really young. And then you have Kennedy Fuller in the midfield. The back line for Angel City is Savvy King, M.A. Vignola. You also have Madison Curry in there at times. Or no, she's not there anymore. She's at Seattle. Sorry, I'm going off mentally.
Sarah Gordon.
Sarah Gordon is your one veteran in there. I think a lot of it has to come from her, Alana Kennedy, in the midfield in order to kind of control the tempo of it and the consistency.
But this happens all game long, and this is what Angel City needs to improve, their countermeasures. When you have a really pacey front line and you're dumping balls forward, the game gets stretched. And yes, it is difficult to catch up with Alyssa Thompson and Tiernan because they're so fast, but the back line then needs to squeeze up those lines as fast as they can, work on their countermeasures. So if the ball does pop out, then they can keep shoving it down there, but they get so stretched and they just let people turn and come down their throat in those gaps. They have to work on their countermeasures.
Yeah, one more element to that, I think, as well, is yes, it'll come with experience. Yes, squeeze to get that counter press right away. You can get a quick regain. But when it's not working out, drop off and just get compact. If it's really not coming together, you're not getting possession, just pull Riley Tiernan back, get condensed lower into the field so that the team can't break you down. Because I know we're going to move over to Utah. That's one way that I think Utah can actually really hurt them, is they are unorganized when they're in that press and a team has more possession.
You're so right, because when you have a young front line, they just keep shoving it.
You just want to run. Yeah.
They never put their foot on the ball and like start to be calculated. They're just, like I said, route one. So if you have where there's trial and error all the time, there's going to be loose balls because they just don't know how to put their foot on it. If there's no option and just control it and move it around, no way. They want to go for it all the time.
All right, Darian, you alluded to it. This Utah team, they've struggled in their attacking end. They've been held scoreless in their last 4 of 5 games. The one goal that they did score, it was a penalty kick. But this is a time for them to hopefully pick up points against Angel City, right? Every week is a building week, despite having a lot of injuries, right? You can list down all the things that have gone wrong for Utah, but where could they capitalize against Angel City?
It's those spaces. As McCall just said, they're sending, when you're a younger player in the league, it's exciting. You're going to these new venues. You have energy. You have nerves. It makes you just want to run as much as you can. You have to rein that in because Utah, although, yes, they've lost, they haven't scored that much. They are good at building. They do have moments of brilliance in possession, and they can really hurt you in those gaps. They have a lot of talent on this team. It's just not resulting in goals. And on the other end for Utah, when you can finally build and a team is giving you space and they're a bit unorganized because they're bombing players forward, that's something for you to take advantage of, especially in those wingback channels, especially on M.A. Vignola's side, because she gets so high up. Savvy King is still really freaking young. I think we forget just because she's been in the league, this is her 2nd year. She's very young in this great defender.
She steps alone back there a lot.
She does.
A lot to handle.
She has a lot to handle. And so when you have players on Utah, especially like an Ali Sentnor, that can go at you, that can cause questions of, am I going to shoot from distance? Am I going to dice you up 1v1? Watch this combination play. That's an opportunity for Utah to try to gain some confidence in the attack, get some shots on target. It's an opportunity in that end, but they have to defend well. It's going to be a matter of, can you stop the counter from Angel City and then be really effective off of your first 2 to 3 passes with the ball.
And I like Kaiser in the mix now too. What do you think about that, Lisa?
Yeah, I really like Kaiser in the mix. She's working on, I think this will be her 4th game now that she'll played with them. She started in their last 2 matches. She adds a different wrinkle to the attack. She wants to score. She wants to get in there. And that's exactly what they need, but they can't rely on one person for me in Utah by any means. Darian, you mentioned they have to generate shots and create chances. That is my number one asterisk thing for Utah, because they either go direct and they get in behind, or they look to build it up and keep possession, which they do a really good job of switching the point of attack, but it rarely results in quality chances or shots on target. If you look at their last 5 games, 3 of them featured just 1 shot on target for Utah Royals. And in one of those games, it ended up being a penalty.
Think about what we're saying.
Shot on target. 1 shot on target against North Carolina, against Chicago, against Portland Thorns. You have to generate more. You have to take risks.
And then your 1 goal is a pen.
And your 1 goal is a penalty, McCall. How deflating is that as a
taken
team?
by a player that's under 20 years old, and you're expecting her to be your franchise player, putting so much pressure on her. It's only 2nd year in the league, and she has all the talent in the world. She could be and is magnificent, but it's a lot to ask of her.
Yeah, imagine if she had the supporting cast around her to not have to bear the weight of literally carrying the Royals game to game, whether she's in the 10, she's in the wide channel, she's the 9. I think U.S. Soccer is still figuring out her best position depending on the cast around her. So then to have so many question marks with your team, you're not going to get the best out of her. And you're right, she's so young. This is still a really young player. And last year, we had the opportunity, thankfully, to see her have the audacity, like the boldness, the audacity to come in as a rookie. And there's no pressure. You're getting an opportunity. You're excited to play. Well, now everyone has such a high expectation. Utah has such a high expectation. Her teammates do of her that I don't feel like we've even gotten to see in her shine, but little moments here and there because they have to defend so much.
Yeah. What about KK Ream, the young 15-year-old that has continued to get more minutes with Utah? What kind of bright spot could she shine on this Utah team?
Well, she's really aggressive going forward. I love her in the attack. I think when you're that young, it comes with decision making. I don't know if I always see her choose the right thing to do, whether it's a pass, whether it's to go 1v1 when there's space, or there's an opportunity to combine with somebody. I think she just needs more game time to develop that, but she's super quick. She's great 1v1. She's effective up top. It's just needing to build that is next in her game at this level. Do you agree, McCall?
Yeah, just little details in your game that help you be more efficient. For example, last game, she was checking back straight every time backwards with her back completely facing the goal. So when it's giving yourself very limited opportunity to turn, or at least just get your hips facing on halfward so you can at least make a pass or face up or roll them or whatever. But she was just blind to the entire field because she was checking back straight to her back line the entire time and she couldn't get out. She couldn't make anything happen.
All right, McCall. So we've got Utah, Angel City. This is a Friday night matchup. Give us your predictions. What do you see happening in this game?
I mean, Alyssa Thompson's definitely going to score a goal. That's for sure. That's on my facts. That's on my fact sheets. And I think 2-0 Angel City.
Ooh, 2-0.
I'm going to go 3-1 Angel City. I don't think Utah's going to win, but I really want them to score a goal in some build-up play. So I'm throwing that out there, 3-1. What about you, Lisa?
I do not think that Angel City is going to earn their first clean sheet this week. So I'm going to go 2-1 Angel City, but Utah still gets one. Someone's going to get a goal. I hope it's KK Ream, actually. Really hope it is. Another matchup that we have this weekend, Seattle Reign against Houston Dash. This game is on Sunday. It is the closer of the weekend, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can watch it on Paramount Plus and the Golazo Network. Immediately following it, we're going to do a recap on A3 right on Golazo Network. Guys, are you still there? Hello? Oh my God. So sorry. Everyone keeps freezing on my screen. Okay. So Seattle, let's talk Seattle, Houston. Seattle, they're coming off a huge 1-0 shutout win over Kansas City. This means that Seattle is undefeated in their last 3 matches, 2 wins, 1 draw. But Houston, they're coming off a 2-1 loss to Louisville. So let's start with Houston. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games, McCall. I feel like we wanted so much for this team and all the changes that they did in this offseason. But where are they falling short now?
They just cannot get their flow. I think they have the pieces and they have all the right characters, experience, youth, solid on the ball, creative on the ball. I think they have everything. But what's really shining out for me is Yasmin Ryan has not hit her flow at the Dash yet. And she is a major key piece that can unlock it all for them. But until she gets into her form and starts doing the things that we know that she can do, scoring goals, assisting, she's not even really taking players on 1v1 very much. You can tell that she's just kind of in a slump. So once they get her out of that, it will unlock a whole new door for the Dash.
On that note, with Yasmin, I think a big part of that, as well as she's having to take on such a defensive role for Houston, because you're right, McCall, they do not have that flow. So you're not going to get the best out of Yaz up in the attack. You're not going to give her the opportunity to go 1v1, to wear out a defender like we saw, to combine, to get in the 18, to get on the end of crosses because she's busy defending. So yes, I agree. It's Yasmin that needs to be elevated by her coach, by the way the team plays. And they Houston's still rocking with that 3-back, and I'm kind of still with it. But I kind of want to see a change because they're not winning. You're not scoring. You're vulnerable in defensively. So that's
really the game that they should change it against Seattle.
I mean, I would. You've got Jordan Heidema and Lynn Biondolo running at you now. Mm-hmm. That's a relationship to me that I would be really worried about in that 3-back with huge channels of space on either side to then play those two players. And that relationship is building between them. But you're not going to give the rest of your team confidence or the opportunity to attack effectively, confidently, if you don't take care of the defensive piece first.
Yeah. I think Avery Patterson for Houston also is taking on a bigger role and responsibility. She is the best player right now for them, but she's also she's in this role where she plays almost as a wing back. So she has both sides of the ball to be able to do whatever she wants. And she does bomb forward at times, but Houston has such good moments where they build and switch. They bait you into one side and then switch the point of attack. It's actually very similar to how Seattle plays in the way that they want to kind of entice you into what they're doing and then go quickly on the other side. This is actually, like, to me, tactically a matchup where we see two coaches and two sides that are trying to adjust, trying to change. I mean, Laura Harvey and Seattle Reign have changed formations almost every single week to adjust, to adapt, not only to the opposition, but to her team, who's available, what they can give her, how they're growing into this. So tactically, McCall, how do you see these two teams going at each other this weekend?
To me, that's a sign of a good coach. If you're able to adjust given the pieces you have and given your opponent, that is Laura Harvey all day, right? She knows where a team that she's playing is weak and she attacks those vulnerable spots using her strengths on her team. So I actually like that she's changed formations and pieces and she puts on a masterpiece with her decisions every time. So we're sitting here. She already knows all the weaknesses of the Dash and she will exactly know where to exploit them. And a big thing is, yes, they're 3-back. If you're outside back, technically Avery Patterson is your best attacking player. You're in a lot of trouble.
Exactly.
Is it that she is the best attacking player, or is that she's put in the best position to attack for this team?
I think she's the most in form, and that's probably why they're playing in a 3-back so she can be higher up the field because Reese knows, like, this is our only source at the moment.
To me, it is really crazy. She's a brilliant player. I love seeing her in the NWSL. She's absolutely crushing it. Imagine what she could do if she didn't have to track back defensively so much. I think this is, sure, her positioning, being a wingback is great. That's great coaching, knowing that she's going to thrive there and be effective. But how much more can you get out of her if you change up defensively so that she can be more fluid in the attack? Imagine if Yasmin and her got to combine a bit more. That would completely change their attack for me.
How do you free them up to have more attack? Does it start in the midfield or does it start with the back line being only a 3-back?
Well, they're trying. They keep switching Avery Patterson on the right-hand side, the left-hand side, put Ryan Garris in front of her, put Yasmin in front of her. Like, they're literally just still trying to find this gel and this flow where everybody can thrive. And I appreciate that Fabrice is searching for that. He wants the best out of his players. But, we're getting into a quarter of the season gone now. Like, let's get it going.
It's almost like, how much do we let them figure this out before it's like, okay, you have to try something different, bring in a different player, or stick to one thing? It's kind of interesting to see how they've changed so much.
I'm like, let's see a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Let's see a 4-4-2. You have the team to do it. You have the players. Put Yasmin up top with Ordonez. I mean, I think that they are a bit opposite of each other in the way that they play. That could be a really good test for other teams. Like, I just think there needs to be something from the coaching side that's different. It's not working. You're trying to make fetch happen. I think it needs to change.
Yeah.
Trying to make fetch happen. Okay, so is fetch going to happen for Houston this weekend? Because they're going up against a Seattle side that is coming off a really big 1-0 win over Kansas City Current. But they have struggled in the attack to consistently find the back of the net. So they're undefeated right now in their last 3 with 2 wins and a draw. But for all 7 games so far this year for Seattle, they've been determined by a 1-goal scoreline. 5 games, only 1 goal. Darian, how does Seattle and Laura Harvey get the best out of the potent attackers that she has?
It's coming, guys. It's coming. I was on a show the other day on CBS Sports Galazzo, and I said that Laura Harvey is going to be my coach of the year very early on, but I do think she's the coach that can get the best out of the attack. I didn't mention Darlene earlier, but Maddie Darlene is another rookie that I'm so impressed by. Her, Biondolo, Haidama up top. It's going to start cooking. It's going to happen. I'm not sure when, but I know we're going to get to score predictions, and I still think it's going to be tight because both these teams are struggling. I'm actually going to go with a tie on this. I do think it's going to end in a tie. Let's say 2-2. I do think it's going to be kind of open. These are both the teams that you can go against at 2-2. These are the teams that you can test things out and try against each other, and both are kind of in a similar position to me. So that's how I'm rocking. And now it's probably going to be like 5-0 to one of the teams because I said
2-2 is pretty accurate. I don't think Houston's going to be able to score 2, though. I have a 1-1 draw for both of these teams because the way that Seattle has been so stingy defensively this year. I mean, that was Laura Harvey's biggest thing coming into 2025. Last year, Seattle conceded way too many goals. They were like the most in the league in conceding goals. And that you guys both know Harvey very well. That was terrible for her. She was like, we're not doing that again. We are changing it up defensively. That's not going to happen. They also have, with Lynn Biondolo coming back, and she's coming off her first goal. With the 7 goals that Seattle has scored this year, they've come from 7 different goal scorers. They have depth. They have a little bit of versatility in how they're scoring their goals, and especially off their roster as well. Give it another 2 weeks. I'm with you, Darian. I think we're going to see everything clicking for Seattle, but not yet. I'm going with a 1-1 draw against Houston.
And what Biondolo does in the press is just as good as what she does in the attack. Defenders are panicking when they have the ball and she's chasing after you, so it just puts this fear in the opponent. That's going to be really helpful for Seattle. So they're going to get the dub. They're going to get that win.
Seattle with the dub.
Yep.
All right. I like it, McCall. That's a good one. Lynn does a lot too, pressing. That's like her game. She can put you under pressure. Can Houston solve it? That'll be the fun one to watch. 8 p.m. on Sunday on Galazzo Network, and A3 going live immediately following it to recap everything in that game and the NWSL weekend. Don't go anywhere, guys. We are chatting unsung heroes in the NWSL. You're not going to want to miss this. Hey, welcome back to Attacking Third. We are chatting NWSL Unsung Heroes. McCall, I believe you pitched this for us in a meeting, right?
I just need to give flowers where there's due. There's so many good players that don't have their name whistled week in and week out, and they deserve it. So let's give some love where it's due.
I like this, and I like that it's coming from you because I feel like, McCall, you were such an unsung hero.
100%
when you played.
Oh, thank you.
And
I think it's a lot too, like in our modern day, not necessarily anything to do with me, but now like people who don't care about having an online presence and aren't like busying themselves and like super media and like, people that just kind of keep to themselves or whatever, they sometimes fall in the wayside of like on the forefront of your mind, So I'm excited to talk about my person because she's very humble and very modest and doesn't need to do all that busy work in media and online. So I'm going to give it to her. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, you teed it up perfectly. Run away with it, McCall. Who's your unsung hero?
VDB, Vanessa DiBernardo. Okay. Come on, people. It's time to coin a storybook nickname for her. She's had such an illustrious career, super renowned NWSL midfielder. VDB has arrived. She is the epitome of this league. She's 32 years old. She's played for 11 years since 2014. She has over 15,000 minutes. She just reached that milestone recently. She starts in 95% of the matches that she plays. She's just that midfield general maestro, like doing it for the team very quietly. But, just because a player doesn't have a high XG doesn't mean that they're not doing the most valuable things in the game week in and week out, So, and two, she's from the Chicago area. She played for Chicago for a long time. She took the bravery in 2023 to come to Kansas City, still breaking into this lineup constantly, a leader for them. She is just so good at so her short passing is over 80%. And so she does that little ticky-tacky, always staying busy, making other teams' heads spin, connecting with her other creative players like Davinia and Claire and letting them eat. I think she just has so many qualities, and she's going to reach 200 games this year too, So it's a big deal. It's a huge thing. I love her, and I think she needs to get a lot more credit than she does. She is an absolute staple in this league.
Vanessa is so fun to watch too, because she is so consistent. When you think about her time in the NWSL, I immediately think Chicago, because that's where she spent so much of her time. But I think she's gotten so much better, which is hard to say since she's gone to Kansas City, because it's a different style that she's playing in. And now she's with Lola Bonta. She has Dabinia in front of her. It's asking different things of her game. And she has once again said, yeah, I can do this too. I can do anything that you throw at me.
Playing against her as well is so tough, because she's one of those players that she doesn't overcomplicate her game. I don't think she's ever been a super speedy player in her career, but she's so smart and intelligent. I think she's one of those players that sees the game before it's happening. She can think 3 steps ahead because she's grown up having to, especially playing pro, especially with the NWSL being mostly a high press system until just recently, the last 2 years, I'll say. And she's one of those players that has just completely adapted, but it's been the strongest, most underrated skill is how intelligent and clean on the ball she is. Also, a girl can score a banger.
Okay.
Yeah.
She can score a banger.
Last season, she contributed to 11 goals. So she had assists, she had goals, you know what I mean? And then she's still doing dirty work in their defensive third too. Mm-hmm. She's industrious, hardworking. She's durable. That's why she's so hard to play against. She's always available for selection, which, by the way, that's a professional. Always taking care of your body. Your worth to me goes down if you're not available for selection, because then what are you for? So if you can continue to be healthy, be available for selection. But like I said, she started in 95% of the matches that she was healthy for anyway, because she just, no matter who the coach is or who she's playing for, she gets the top. And she's also in the top 6 in the league of wins. She is in the most wins. So her teams win. She does that grind and that dirty work that people don't notice that help her team win. She's a winner.
She's a winner. McCall, you've played against Vanessa. Have you ever played with her?
Never played with her.
What's the hardest thing about playing against her? Darian talked a little bit about it too.
Yeah, no, just her diligence. She's in the right place in the right time all the time. Just when you think you have a second to breathe, she's right there. Mm-hmm. She does. And then you can't sleep on her because she also gets in the attack and can score bangers and get assists. She's the complete player for me. She makes every midfielder and midfield team that she's on better. And she's such a kind person and a great leader too. She's a huge part of that team camaraderie, which helps them win, which is why she's been such a winner. So she would definitely be in my top 5 drafted if I'm building a team or a midfield. She's just that utilitarian piece that can do it all.
A really consistent player too. She, when she was in Chicago, she lived with one of my good friends from college, Mary, and I went and visited them, and I was like, oh, hi, I met her in her apartment. It was so weird. And she was so nice. She was the kindest person to me. And I was like, you don't have to be kind to me. I don't know. She was such a hard worker. She was like, nope, I've got to do this. She had her practice day schedule and what she was going to do. And I was just kind of fly on the wall to observe it all. And you're exactly right, McCall. It was true professional to a T. My friend, I was like, Mary, pick up your slack. What are you run circles around you? I really like that shout for Vanessa DiBernardo. All right, Darian, you want to go next? Give us
I will go next. Drum roll, please. Kayleigh Kurtz. KK to friends, the star of the backline of the Courage. Actually, I'll say one of the stars because Ryan Williams is also crushing it. But to me, KK has always been such an unsung hero in this league. Just to give some context to her story, she, at her senior year at South Carolina, which McCall, I didn't know this. She played with Sab D'Angelo at South Carolina. For some reason, I didn't know that when I was looking this up. I was
they were like decent during their era. Not during ours, but yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh shoot, I forgot about that. But Mac Herman Trophy finalist, SEC Defensive Player of the Year, All-American first team. She's incredibly smart. And then she goes off. She plays in Sweden. I can't pronounce this club's name. Ostrons. In 2017.
Swedish.
Yeah, like I'm Swedish. Then she decides my rookie year, 2017, comes to the North Carolina Courage, is an invitee, balls out. She does incredibly well. I will say KK came in hot. She came in real hot rookie year.
Way to say it.
Yep, she came in real hot. She was one of those rookies that's like, I'm going to hit. I'm going to make an impact. You loved playing with her on your team, hated playing against her, and she's remained having that, but she's refined having her game so much, especially being a player that was behind that season, Abby Dahlkemper and Abby Ursig as the center backs. You weren't going to get minutes. I remember her speaking to the media about, you know what, I'm just honored to be here. I'm honored to learn. I want to ride for this team. And now look at her. I love hearing stories and seeing players like her who, just because you weren't playing, they left. She's one of those players that took her time, developed, became a true professional. And now she's on, last year, she won 3 Iron Women. Mm-hmm. Played every single minute. And McCall, as you said it, that is a true professional. You can play every single game and be so effective in the attack and defensively and lead this team through a lot of turnover of players, of coaches, a lot of changes. She's been a star along with Denise O'Sullivan. And I wanted to give her flowers as well because the girl just scored as well.
Yes.
She equalized against Kansas City, and then they went on to ultimately win the game. But it must feel so good. And I hope that she sees this, hears this. We'll probably tag her in this clip after because McCall and I played with KK. She's the absolute best. And she deserves all of her flowers. And I can't wait to see where else her game goes.
Lisa, what do you think about KK?
Guys, I love her. I love when we talk about defenders, always. She's so consistent and she's so good on both sides of the ball, right? Because she is a great 1v1 defender, but also her distribution. And I think, Darian, I'm so glad you went back to like her roots as a player and her story to get into the NWSL, because I feel like the league has kind of boomed in the last couple of years. And there are so many new people that come in, and you think some of these veterans have just been there. Like, she was a starter in the center back since her rookie year and she got drafted in the first round. But like, that's not the case for a lot of these players. They've had to put in so much work to get to where they are. Some of my favorite NWSL stories are ones of undrafted players that then come in, work really hard. They grind, they go to different clubs and teams and preseasons. And now their name stays. We can't imagine the league or their team without them. And KK is one of those players for North Carolina, for sure.
No doubt about it. KK, I call her Kiddo because she was one of our rookies in 2017. And we took a liking to each other. So it was really neat the way that she really leaned on me because she was so focused in her craft, right? That she knew that she wanted to get better. And by the way, look at what she was up against. In Courage back in 2017, 18, 19. Abby Ursig, Abby Dahlkemper, like, we were loaded in the back line. Like, it was so hard for her to break in. So like you said, she was patient. She went overseas to get experience because she knew that she needed it. She was always really committed to becoming the best professional she can be. She didn't have much of a left foot when she first got into the pros. She would come early to training, stay after training to work on it. And now she can hit 40-yard bombs, drop it directly on somebody's foot in their stride consistently. She is unsung because, again, she's not a flashy person, but she is the perfect example of a captain and a mainstay player in this league.
She's a big reason why North Carolina has been able to play the style that they've been wanting to play over these last couple of years of just keeping the ball and maintaining possession. A lot of it having to do with Kurtz. Okay, guys, my turn to give a shout out to an absolute legend, someone that is so fun to watch in the NWSL every single week, no matter who she's playing against. I'm going with Portland Thorns midfielder Hina Sugita, the Japanese international that is only 28 years old. 28 years old. She is so young in terms of NWSL soccer players, but she plays with the maturity of someone that is 10 years older. But she has done such a good job of maintaining herself. And she acts like such a professional and plays with so much maturity because she's been playing since she was 15 for the Japanese youth national team. And immediately after she graduated high school in Japan, she began playing soccer professionally back in 2015. She was in the WE League, which is the Japanese league over there, the INAC, which is the International Athletic Club. Kobe Leonessa was her team. She was there for 8 years, 102 caps with them and 17 goals. Back then in 2018, she earned her first senior national team call-up to the Japanese women's national team. She made her debut as a sub in the midfield against Australia in August of that year. And then 1 year later, she was named to the 2019 Women's World Cup. She was at the Tokyo Summer Olympics in 2020. She was at the 2023 Women's World Cup. She has been a namestay, 46 international caps with Japan. So after she spent 8 years with one club team in Japan, she signed with Portland Thorns in 2022 ahead of that season, which I remind all of you, that year, Portland went on to win the championship. She is a midfield.
They beat us. Oh, no, wait, no, that 2022. Sorry. Go ahead, Lisa.
I think that was the Washington Spirit year.
Yeah, you're
with
right.
Soph and this, her little celebration. But Hina Sugita is a midfield beauty to watch. She glides on the ball. She connects the lines so seamlessly. She does a lot of the dirty defensive work that never gets noticed and often goes unseen because it looks so effortless. She's one of those players that I'm like, are you trying? I know you're trying really hard, but it doesn't look like it because you're always in the right position. Your passes are perfect every single time. You can tell she's giving her all, and mentally her brain is working so hard, but she makes it look like the easiest thing in the world. A walk in the park, if you will, watching Hina Sugita play. So she's my unsung hero this week.
I love that. I call her the Japanese maestro. She is so smooth on the ball. Like if you watch her, she's always on balance. Like she always has both feet underneath her hips, her shoulders lined up. She is just gliding out there, like you said, Lisa, and it takes so much to knock her off balance. She can keep the ball under her feet so tidy, so close. Great passer, really smart with her movements. She knows how to push and pull back lines. I love the player. She's a joy to watch. And I think without her right now, Portland really relies on her, and she does a lot more than they give credit to her for. But, even players like Moultrie and, Fleming, they rely on that difference and the magic from Sugita in order to break apart opponents.
It's always really sweet when you hear, when we, talk to coaches, we have our coaches calls or we interview players. And anytime Hina Sugita is brought up, everyone's like, oh, we just love her. She's adored by everybody at the Portland Thorns organization and us at A3. But some underrated part of her game is watching her play, how many times she touches the ball, how tightly she keeps the ball to her. She rarely loses possession on the dribble. Very rarely. She's always key to pick out a pass. She can problem solve on a dime. She doesn't let the ball get far away from her. And I don't think we see a lot of players with that quality that are also super effective in the attack. It's more of a defensive presence where we see players like that. So I just wanted to shout that part of her game out because I love watching how she moves on the ball, how many times she touches it just to allow time, and she problem solves all over the pitch.
No, you're exactly right. We've all seen those players that are like, oh, you can dribble in circles. Good for you. But like, what's your effectiveness?
Exactly.
Her balls into the final third, the way she can thread a pass, her vision. She's beating players for a reason, to get free, to make a pass that's going to lead to the final pass. I agree. Her effectiveness is very high.
The Portland Thorns fan base, they have a fan club specifically for Hina Sugita, and they call themselves the Hina Hive because she buzzes around like a bumblebee on the field, just absolutely eating up everything. So I love that. Can we be part of the Hive? Because
I think we are the Hina Hive. Can we get a shirt Hina Hive, can we like get some merch?
That would be cute with a little bumblebee in her face.
Cute.
Adorable. I like these unsung heroes, McCall. Great idea. This was really fun. Guys, let us know your unsung hero in the NWSL, not just this week, but this year of all time. Hit us up on socials at Attacking Third and let us know who you're looking at. NWSL weekend action is upon us, so we're going to put some bets on it, or at least give you our best bets for the weekend. Stick with us. Hey everyone, welcome back to Attacking Third. We are dropping a new segment right now. It is called Best Bets of the Week. This league in NWSL is absolutely bonkers. You never know what's going to happen. We make predictions, but for you at home, we're going to give you what we think is going to be the best call for the weekend. Now, McCall, we can now bet on NWSL action, which is pretty cool, but can you give us like a little rundown of like the pluses, the minuses? Give us like some little needs to know about betting for us.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. It feels like the NWSL went public, right? Like now you can bet on us. Like we're here, we've arrived. Yeah, so there's several ways depending on what you use. CBS, we use Sportsbook. Shout out. So you can bet on anything. It can be such and such is going to score a goal, such and such is going to have an own goal, a penalty kick, the score line, how many minutes someone plays. I mean, it can get very detailed. So it depends on your knowledge and what you think you should put. We are going to call them A3 bucks. So all my A3 bucks, I'll bet my weekend on it, that Alyssa Thompson scores a goal in this game this weekend versus Utah.
That's why you said that earlier.
Yeah, okay. Baby, set it up. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind, especially going against the Danish defender, Janny Thompson. It's her first year in the league. She's still a little bit inexperienced. She actually was converted right back. She used to be a midfielder, so she's a little bit out of sorts, not super good 1v1, not comfortable going forward. So Alyssa Thompson's just going to run at her, pin her in her own defensive third, keep her under pressure. They're going to be unable to attack and just get waves and waves of Alyssa Thompson in their face. And Janny Thompson going to learn on Friday what it's like to play against someone like Alyssa Thompson. She's just that type of an athlete she's just like an elastic type of athlete, very youthful elasticity about her. She just pops and like explodes off the ground so quickly, not only in her pace, but when she goes to chop you, she'll dip her shoulder and she's by you before you can even realize that she juked you. I just love watching her play. And even with athleticism in the back.
When Alyssa Thompson runs, her legs are oh, there she goes.
Moving so quick. But yeah, even athletic players like Delfava in the back line of Utah, she's going to have her hands full, cannot keep up with her. A young Flynn doesn't know what to do with it either. I just got a lot of assurance and an Alyssa Thompson goal this weekend, baby.
McCall, how much A3 bucks we putting on this?
I'll go 47.
Wish I knew what this meant.
47 A3 bucks.
Okay, 47.
Because I think we're all going to put it in a pool at the end, right?
I don't know. I'm like confused, but I like that. So I did multiple bets because I didn't understand the assignment.
You can do multiple. I'm just.
Do we call that a prop bet?
Ooh.
Okay, so I'll give you some of mine. Ashley Hatch to score a header goal. I went pretty specific on this one. Against Chicago, I think that is like a pretty sure thing that you can get because Chicago concedes corners and they're going to get one and Ashley Hatch is just going to score. If you want Ashley Hatch to just score anytime, it's plus 135, which is pretty good odds against Chicago. I would take that any day. I said it earlier when we did our preview for Seattle against Houston. I think it's going to be a draw. So it's plus 255 for Seattle and Houston to be a draw. So you could bet $100, $183 and make 225 on that one, which I think is pretty good.
No, it's very good. Like I put down $47. Like that could triple easily. That's what's Be responsible out there, everyone. But that's what's fun about betting.
Yes. And then McCall, to go off of yours with Alyssa Thompson scoring, I did Angel City to win and to have over 3.5 goals at plus 425 because Angel City in their last 4 games have had at least 4 goals in those games. So Angel City to win plus over 3.5 goals.
You did your probability work. I love that.
Yeah, I do. I go hard on these bettings.
Yeah,
I'm looking to make some money. Darian, what's wrong?
Can we go to English? I need somebody to explain the plus, the minuses,
No, you're the people we need to capitalize on. Just stay in your ignorance.
You know what? I have been to
money off
Vegas,
you.
and I do have what they call beginner's luck because I don't know what I'm doing, but I have made $100 in Vegas once or twice in my days. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm betting on.
Congratulations, Darian.
But somehow it's worked. So I don't know the probability of this. I was just like, oh, this seems like it's gonna make sense. I don't know.
Maybe that's your sauce, though, not knowing.
Maybe it is. I might be cooking with this. I think the odds are good this is gonna happen, but I looked at the matchups and I said, okay, I think I can predict what's gonna happen between Racing Louisville and Gotham. That seems
Okay, let's hear it.
to me. I said Esther is going to score a goal. And on the Louisville side, I don't know what the odds are on that. I can look it up, post it on Instagram. Louisville's Kayla Fisher is going to get another yellow. I think
another yellow.
She's good for a yellow. She is good for a meaty tackle. She hits really hard, sometimes kind of late. I think it's going to happen. She's really scrappy. She's really physical. I think the way Gotham moved the ball, the odds of her getting a yellow are likely high, but she's been really good for them. It sucks to play a player like her that's physical. Great when she's on your team. But those are my bets.
Those are good.
You know what? Now that you say that, I feel like that matchup's going to get really heated.
Yeah, I think it'll be chippy
a little
as well.
Chippy in like the first little bit, and then it's just going to get ruthless.
Yeah, I think I totally agree. And Gotham has quite a few injuries, so it's the time to go at them if you're Louisville.
And Esther was quiet last week. Now's her time to.
She never goes 2 weeks in a row without.
Never goes 2 weeks in a row, McCall. Isn't that terrifying? Especially.
Oh my God.
Especially if you're Louisville. A little game note on Racing Louisville this week coming into their game against Gotham. They have just announced 2 season-ending injuries. So sending prayers and loves and well wishes to goalkeeper Katie Lund and fullback Madison Picorni. So they're both now on SEI. Also, midfielder Ari Borges, who was serving a red card suspension last week. That suspension has been extended for 3 additional games. So she's now going to miss week 8, week 9, and week 10. That was 2 weeks ago. She pushed the center referee after receiving that initial red card, and they went back and looked at that. In terms of red card suspension also, Washington Spirit head coach Jonathan Giraldez, he has been given an additional suspension for failing to leave the pitch after his ejection during Washington Gotham. So he missed match day 7 last week, and he's also going to miss Saturday on the road at Chicago. So just a little disciplinary action update for all of you.
A3 unhinged. What is going on?
We have rules and policies in this league.
Unhinged. But you guys, you made it a little bit more hinged today because this was fun. Such a good episode. McCall, Darian, thanks for hanging. This was a good one. NWSL week action takes place. It starts tomorrow. A bunch of games are on CBS Sports, Paramount Plus, Golazo Network, so go watch them. And then on Sunday night, Seattle Reign against Houston Dash, 8 p.m. Eastern. Watch it on Golazo Network. And then we'll be live right after to recap all of it. So we'll see you then. Plus giving you our A3 weekly best 11, talk the major takeaways, all of it. Have a great weekend, everyone. Go hug your moms. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. And we'll see you Sunday. From McCall, Darian, and Mark, I'm Lisa. This was Attacking Third.
Love you, Mom.